Hello, welcome to Exotic Gardening with me, Yorkshire Kris, on this quite nice spring day. We've had the sunshine, had a little bit of a shower, but it's not cold. It's great weather for doing some proper digging and graft in the garden. And today's video is all about three things, and those are digging my path, getting the path going around the bottom of the garden, looking at clump forming bamboos and dividing those, and thirdly, containing spreading bamboos, in this case a Phyllostachys. So to allow this gravel path to continue through here, I'm going to have to take out half of this Fargesia bamboo on my left. Really nice clump forming bamboo, but it will be just in the way of the path. It'll be to the side of the path, but when it comes over like this, it's going to be at shoulder height. So I'm going to dig around this clump and we're going to take out probably about half of this and put it somewhere else in the garden. It's a nice easy bamboo to divide compared to Phyllostachys bamboos, so it shouldn't be an overly taxing job. I say that before I do it, to split this in half. So I'm just going to take this out now. Whilst digging up the bamboo, just over there, found two footballs, this Aston Villa one, and also this one with a fungi literally growing out of it. So it must be finding some nutrients from inside this football. Very, very bizarre. But anyway, back to dividing this. As you can see, it's not been too difficult. Here I'm a little bit out of breath, but got a good wedge here, and I'll do another wedge over there, and then I'll leave the remaining clump where it is. And then I'm going to go down here, probably take out this choice here, and then with that Phyllostachys atrovaginata, which likes wet conditions and is a runner, I'm going to actually put in my first bamboo root barrier to go around here so it doesn't come out into the path, which will go down this way and through those tree ferns once I've removed the tree ferns. So that's the next stage. We clear this part of the area, ready for the new path to join up with the current path down there. So I've cut away half of the bamboo, so I've dug all this area here so that it's closer to the fence and further away from where the path is going to come out towards me. And I've actually been able to find the label of this bamboo, and it's actually Fargesia Morellii New Century, and it costs me £7. You can see it's still a substantial clump. You can see the dead parts because it's in the centre here. We will get new culms coming later in the year and next year, so it will look fresh and new in 6 months to a year's time when it has new growth on it. I've got some debris there, and I've got about 3 or 4 good sized plants which I'll pot up and think about what I'm going to do with. So there's 4 clumps of bamboo that I've dug up. That will make a nice feature somewhere else or in somebody else's garden. I'm just going to pot these up, keep them well watered, and wait for the new growth to appear later in spring. And there we are, we've got 4 potted up bamboos that I've divided from the main clump. So it's not just me who's been doing some gardening recently. The family's been out tidying up as well, helping to cut back some of those palm fronds, cut down those grasses, while I've been digging a path at the end of the garden. So before we look at the Phyllostachys, it's time for a nice, relaxing interlude. So unlike the Fargesia bamboo that we've just taken care of just further down the path area, here behind me we've got the Phyllostachys bamboo, which is a true spreader. And because I've taken up the wooden path, which acted as a barrier to stop it spreading, I'm going to put in an actual root barrier to stop this bamboo shooting across the garden and coming up in places I don't want. Especially, I don't want it coming up in the middle of the path. So down here, I've got this membrane and it's bamboo barrier. It's thick plastic, very robust, and it will stop any roots or shoots penetrating through it. So the idea being, we're going to place it around this bamboo. So we're going to have to dig a trench where we don't want the bamboo to spread further than, and we put this into the ground, but we leave probably about 5-10 centimeters sticking up to stop any roots overarching and coming over the barrier. So ideally you would do this before you plant the bamboo, but in my case I've got an established bamboo here. I'm going to make sure that any runners that have already gone are cut through, and then we're going to place this barrier, dig a trench around here and put it in the ground, and this will stop the bamboo from spreading into the rest of the garden, or it should do. You probably saw in that little fast forward section that I dug up a bit of the bamboo that was too close to where I wanted it. And this is a nice little division. It's a good solid root ball on that. One big cane, but there's some buds at the base of that will shoot again if I wish to plant it. But I've got enough of these bamboos, so this one I'll be chopping up and going in the recycling bin. So now I've done my initial line of where the trench is going to go. So it's from the fence around the bottom of the trachycarpus, round the bamboo, and then down here where we've got a decent depth, around past tetrapanax, and then going across to the fence there. So that is where the barrier is going to go. And all sorts of glass and rubble, all sorts down there. And some big roots of the tetrapanax and some bamboo roots. I'm going to clear this up, widen it a bit. I'm just going to put my barrier in to see if it's long enough. It should be, it's 5 meters. And then we'll actually put it into its final position once I know that it's deep enough. So let's do that now. So I've started to get the barrier put in position, and this is the deep trench I've done around here, going around that trachycarpus roots. That's about 35-40 centimeters deep. So I'm going to unroll this, put that in this area going towards the fence there, and there'll be a decent amount still sticking out. I might trim that bit back a bit, but I'll wait till I've got all my subsoil and path down and then just trim this afterwards to neaten it up. That should hopefully stop these bamboo rhizomes getting through here into the path. There'll be an odd one creeping around the far end there, but hopefully that's far enough away I can just tackle that as and when it comes through. There's a main clump is over there, so I've still got a decent amount of space for it to grow into. So that's nearly the barrier put in position. So that's the bamboo barrier in its final position. Put the soil around it on this side, leaving a good sort of 5-10 centimeters sticking out. Further round, I'm going to build up this area, so that's why you can see so much on this side of the barrier, because we're much lower there than over here. And if we carry on round, we can see it goes round the corner there and up towards the fence, so it's containing the tetrapanax a little bit, and the main thing, the Phyllostachys atrovirginata bamboo. So that's about 4 meters area for it to grow into, and then we'll be able to carry on with the next stage of building up the path from here, coming round here, and then through this part of the garden. But before we can do that, the next job will be to dig up these tree ferns so that the path can carry on down the garden. So join me next time when I'll be digging up tree ferns and having a rest from tidying up the bamboos.